I got my hookup together. I got my hookup together. Hey, family. Sorry, I had to run downstairs. Throw me something to eat on real quick and come back up. So it's after 5. But I had to put something on my stomach. But look, I was trying to wait for a few people to come on, right? Um, I'm trying to see which day that we can do the men health, the men mental health, the men's mental health, right? And I do want the men to come up. And when I get a chance, family, on my broadcast network, like I said, I'm gonna try to play with it so I can see how I can invite. Um, I can get 10 panelists up on my Restream broadcast network. So once I get better with being able to add it in, I have to send out my my um my site number so you can chime in so we can talk about like men's mental health. But I'm trying to decide whether I want to do it on Mondays, Wednesdays, or Fridays. Um, I might. What's up, Mr. True? I might, in the long run, change my settings. All right, bro. You want to come up? Come on. Change my settings from my time frame from 4 to maybe 5. In the evening, so we can talk about men's mental health. And I'm gonna share this too. I don't mind if maybe some women might want to come up, but I'm talking about women who will empower our men, who will further educate our men, because one, I mainly want the men for this conversation, but two, the men can listen as the women that knows their selves, right? And know what they expect from that male because they know who they are inside, can encourage and motivate our men. I ain't for that yelling and screaming. I'm talking about like that bashing and stuff like that because we do a lot of that over on TikTok. And I want my platform to be a healthy platform where that man can come up and we can feel free. He can talk about whatever he want and where he's at, how he feel. You know, wait a minute, Truth, and I'm gonna let you go ahead. Um, and that's what I'm looking at, y'all. That's what I've been thinking about all day, Mr. Truth, since I got up, right? Because I'm understanding how important it is for the men to be able to express themselves, talk about where they at, what's going on. But this way, keep in mind, with the men and the women, this is how we can educate each other. It's not about bashing each other. It's not about turning each other down. Because what I experienced, I'm gonna say, in my two marriages, well, my first wife to me, uh, it wasn't until I got married the second time. That was my best wife, right? My first wife was my best wife, right? But then my second wife, I'm not going to say that wasn't my best wife, but I understood it was more challenging than my first marriage, you know. And I understand the work that it takes. Any relationship, rather it's a marriage or rather it's just boyfriend, girlfriend. And every time I say boyfriend, girlfriend, I think about children. Boyfriend, girlfriend, type of relationship, it's a commitment either way, right? It's a commitment. But my whole goal as a man myself, and as a man that's in touch with his feelings, his emotions, as a man who understands who he is as a man, that's a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. I know who I am, and I'm talking about with the morals, with the values, with the spiritual principles of life, the quality. I know who I am inside. I know inside too, I can be this evil, nasty dude if I choose to. I just choose not to live like that by the grace of God today. I choose not to practice those old behaviors like that. But believe me, they only sitting right here. They can come up at any time, right? So that's about respecting each other's and each other's space. So I only do my platform to encourage, to empower, to motivate people. And what I'm getting ready to do now, since my twin then came up, I'm going to shut my mouth so my twin can say something. Come on, Mr. Drew.
Now, you didn't have to do that. And before you said, wait a minute, the only thing I was going to say was amen when you started talking like that. But
I wanted you to come up so I could eat my food.
Oh, okay.
No, I wanted you to start talking.
So how's that beautiful salad over there? Because it looks really good.
This is not no salad. This is oodles and noodles.
I saw lettuce in there.
Yeah, this is oodles and noodles and broccoli.
Okay. Yeah, I saw lettuce in there, so I was like, is that lettuce or is it just broccoli?
It's broccoli.
Okay,
you know how you get your starch, your meat, and your vegetables? So I just threw everything in. Look, I threw everything in one bowl.
Now wait a minute. Now is that one of those hot dogs that has pork, or is that a hot dog?
That hot dog might have
or is it beef? Oh yeah, never mind. You don't know what's in hot dogs nowadays.
I was saying that coming up the step, True. I was like, look, I don't know what's in it, but I put four hot dogs in there, right? Yeah. And I went on and microwaved everything together. I said, no telling what's in this sucker, but I know right now it still tastes good to me.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I used to live off of poor man's steak with a bologna,
I got that down there too.
Yeah.
I got me, look. What I do sometimes, right? I call myself, the little pancakes that's in the package, just like 3 of them in the package. Oh, yeah. I'll put a bologna at the bottom, and I'll put a cheese, and then I'll put a bologna at the top, and make my own like a breakfast sandwich.
Oh yeah, I've done it before. I've done it before.
I'll be looking at the turkey sausages or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And that thing like $10 a day going bag. I'll be like, that's all right. I'm gonna buy me a couple of packs of bologna.
Hey, I'm on the live, Megan. You need to calm down.
Who's that?
My daughter is going off on the dog.
Oop.
The dog was in the bathroom and she didn't want the dog in there, so she was going off and telling him to get out of the bathroom.
What's that, the baby girl?
No, she's 20.
Okay. Yeah, because you know that they look at you kind of funny too. They will look at you kind of funny. So
the dog, my daughter was in the bathroom. She was trying to, use the bathroom, and the dog went running in there.
right.
And she's like, "Get the heck out of the bathroom!"
I don't blame her.
And it just wouldn't get out of the bathroom. I don't know why they keep on trying to go in there, but whatever.
I used to let the cat in the bathroom till I heard somebody say something about like animals looking at you some kind of way, and I stopped letting her in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be a saying about the cats back in the old days. There used to be a saying about it where if the cat would stare at you for a long period of time, it was looking into your soul.
Yeah, it was somewhere along that line too.
Yeah.
But I had to be real careful.
Yeah, and it meant bad things is what it meant back in the days. But the other people just fell away from that and just said, it is what it is, whatever.
Right, right. Because Tammy, that was my baby, man. I would get on my lives, and she would always, every time I get on my live, she would always come over and try to get my attention to get off that live.
We got blessed today.
Y'all got another dog.
No. We got blessed today. My wife goes to work today, and the boss comes up and gave her $150 in cash.
Ooh, congratulations.
And she looked at her and told her, she said, "I appreciate you. I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you." And so she gave her $150 in cash, which was amazing because we actually need it,
Right.
Let's go buy some Thanksgiving dinner.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking about well, I'll make something for the house, right? I'm talking about myself basically. I was just thinking about some stuffing and shrimps. That's all.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to eat the same thing treat. My daughter's in there right now. She's making me chicken Roman noodles.
Okay, I think that's what this is. Yeah, because sometimes I normally bake chicken, so I didn't eat it now because I'll bake it on a Sunday to last me up till about Wednesday, and I done ran out. So it's just matter of fact, I didn't even cook nothing for this weekend to hold me over like that.
Yeah,
and I have a tendency of eating like once a day, which being a diabetic is not good. But that's just where I'm at because I take Trulicity too to help cure my appetite. So I normally won't eat unless I'm hungry, which is not, and I'm gonna tell you, it is not real good. But I'm trying to get better with just putting a little something on me. It don't have to be a lot, like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but just put something on me. But I have a tendency, if I wake up 10, 11 o'clock or 9, I'm still not gonna eat. I'm not gonna eat. I won't eat till around about 4 or 5 in the evening.
Yeah. Hey, Megan, don't make those noodles soft, man, like cotton, please. All right. She should keep those noodles soaking in that water to where there's nothing to salt.
Oh, you was telling your daughter that?
Yeah, she said she's gonna fix me something to eat, so I told her, I said, go in there and get me some Roman noodles and make them for me.
I thought you were talking about my noodles. I was like,
Yeah. No, see? That's how noodles got better.
And see, I just crushed them up a little bit, right, and put them in, and they put themselves back together.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's starch.
Yeah.
And see, now right there, what did it do? Let me see. The way I just mixed that, I had to take my insulin too, because it's going to send it up. It's going to send it up. Like now it's 236. So when I go to eat, anything I put in me, it'll run it up. But I have some medicine that will hurry up and bring it back down.
Yeah.
Right. What's up, miss? So that's normally how I have to do. I have to take that the fast acting medication like first, and then I have to eat right after because it'll turn around and make it drop real quick. So you might hear this machine go off because I got a thing on my arm.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Miss, if you want to come up, you know you're welcome. For some reason, to me, man, it's like they making me think this stuff they giving us today is not really helping us the way
Yeah.
I'm looking for to it, to help me. Cause the doctor told me one time I've been on insulin for a little on and off for over 35 years. And the doctor said, "Oh, see, I told you it's gonna go off after a while." He said, "They haven't healed you yet." I was like, "Huh?" Because I realized they give you stuff that's supposed to heal you, but it's just prolong whatever it is. Missy.
You know what what's crazy, and don't say it again, baby. Hold on one second, see, I'm gonna talk to my daughter.
Yeah, they also misled.
You know that I just found out not that long ago that you can actually reverse diabetes. I did not know that you can do that. All these years I had family members that passed away from complications of diabetes and things like that. They're saying with the right nutrition, the right diet and things, you get your A1C levels, you will no longer be diabetic.
The biggest one is
It take work. Come on.
The biggest one is losing weight. That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
But it's also the hardest.
And yeah, but here's the other one. This is the other one that my brother just found out. And not only that, Stephen, I got to tell you something, man. And this is for all your listeners too. My brother, he's 38 years old, right? He just got diagnosed. He didn't even tell me until he came down here. He didn't let nobody know. It just slipped out of his mouth. And I said, "Brother, you got to be kidding me. You had that and you didn't tell nobody? Nobody in the family?" I said, he goes, "I didn't want nobody to worry about it."
Right.
And so he's my brother that, he's basically kind of like me. He wants to experiment with not medications. He wants to experiment with herbal stuff, things that's out there, that's been grown on the ground, things like that, right? Nothing been touched by human hands.
Right.
So he had it imported from I forgot what country it is, but it's an herbal tea, right? And he boiled it and everything like that. Well, here's what happened. So he went to the doctor. The doctor ended up telling him that he had lung, the C word, lung C, right? Because I can't say the actual name.
Yeah, I got you.
But the doctor told him that he had it, and that he's going to eventually have to, go under, all that stuff, right? And he said, I don't know. I'm gonna go home. I'll think about it. I'll let you know. So he went on. He just started Googling things. He started asking things. He started looking up things, right? And he told me when he was down here visiting me, like not even but 3-4 weeks ago or so, he's like, "You won't believe this." And I said, "What is it?" And he goes, "I'm cured from it." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, because my name's Aaron. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, he told me, he was like, "Aaron," he's like, "Brother, I get this herbal tea imported from this country, and I boil it, and then I drink it. And I've been drinking it, drinking. I've lost a lot of weight. It's curing my body inside and out." And he goes, "I went back to the doctor, and the doctor said, whatever you did, you don't have it no more."
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you now.
It was going out of his system. His lungs are all 100%. Everything.
I believe for some reason the stuff that they're giving me is basically, I'm trying to watch. I'm trying to watch what I say.
That's what I was going to tell you also. So he also had diabetes too. and he don't have diabetes anymore.
Right. Now look.
It cured all of that inside of his body. And I told him, I said, bro, I said, you think you might be able to help me with like my memory and getting my strength back? And he said, oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to give you the name of it. You need to look it up and get it and have it shipped to you, and then just boil it and then drink it. He said, and he goes, I bet you in about 2 weeks of drinking it, you're probably going to feel amazing. You're going to feel so much better.
Now, I'm going to tell you what I did, because I drink coffee every day. I had to get away from the caffeine. And I got decaffeinated, and it does not taste nothing like the caffeine.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I quit all caffeine.
Right.
14 years.
Oh, congrats. But, Miss, just like you were saying, right? Now, mind you, I'm at that point now, to be honest, where I'm looking for somebody to really work with me from what I understand is they have to wean me off the medication. Like she's saying, because I've been taking it for years. And not only that, the high blood pressure pill, all that stuff too. Because look, lately, family, I just started taking my high blood pressure pill again because my pressure had a tendency of dropping on me. So in order for me to keep it balanced, I had to stop taking it so I won't get up and be like this. So late when I went to the doctor's the other day, and it was like 122 over 70, right? Which wasn't too bad, but I had to order me a machine because anytime it's falling too low, then I got to come off of it. Because what I'm realizing a lot, and I'm telling you, to me, it's like the stuff they're giving me is making me sicker. But for the most part, you cannot tell me I'm not a healthy guy. Now, I got one of these on my arms, right? Can you see it? And I swear, man, I could be wrong, but I swear that something ain't right with this thing.
Hey, I got a question for you. You know that says G7, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that's Group 7?
Shut up, what was that? Oh, my thing fell. Stop. I was looking at that the other day. Something says 7. Group 7. Stop. It might.
I just had to make you laugh, Steven. Come on.
Stop. Cause
come on.
Cause I seen you on something the other day, right? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm in Group 7, man. What are you talking about?
Hey, friend. No craziness now. No crazy. Oh, come on, Just. Oh, come on, Just. I seen you come past, so I was just racing. Huh?
Oh, you definitely part of Group 7.
Oh, me or Truth?
Both of y'all. Him for even pointing it out, and you for you know why.
I'm telling you, no, this thing right here on my arm, to monitor my blood and everything, my sugar. For some reason, I think Elon Musk created this thing. I'm like, something ain't right here. Something ain't right. I'm telling you, it's like because of things that's happening now, right? I don't know what's going on with people, but astrologers understand a lot that's what's going on, right? And I've been kind of questioning stuff. What in the heck? And family, I'm like, did Jesus come back and didn't tell me yet? Because I'm like, something ain't right. Because I mean, the stuff that's been happening, and it makes me scared to drink water. It's like I don't know what they putting in stuff today, but woo. But it's certain people that we associate with. I'm gonna put it like that, who's really into like the earth and into things like that, astrology and stuff that can really help you basically understand what's happening around us. And I'm like, wow. Now I ain't even talking about Miss and family. I ain't talking about the spiritual people yet, but you know, because sometimes we see stuff that in our mind, it's like, nah, it ain't true. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's what we was talking about the other day, Missy. Sometimes, you know, we see things, but your mind will play tricks on you. So I was thinking about that too, Missy, when you made that statement the other day, Queen. Matter of fact, I made a little short skit and sent it over. But what basically what she was talking about, because when we tend to diagnose people, sometimes we will. Well, sometimes people will, let me put it like that, diagnose our people with certain issues the wrong way. So, like Missy said, normally when I talk with my clients, let me put it like that, because of my spiritual journey, I have to, it's like I attach to your spirit. So if I feel like God has blessed you with a special gift, my goal is to encourage you and motivate you to embrace that gift more. It's not that you're losing this. And that's what Missy came up sharing the other night about, mainly some goddamn church folks. Missy, Missy was nice about it. She said, I don't mean to be contradictory, like those are my words, right? But I understood everything you said, Missy, because anytime our religious people come for our people that have certain issues or have not recognized themselves yet, I'll come for your butt.
Very important that people of color get degrees in these things because they don't know how to treat us. Because I'm telling you, for the longest time, it has been a running thing in my family for people to have diabetes. And up until
all that,
up until I started going back to nursing school, I did not know that it can be reversed. I didn't.
Mm-hmm. I knew. Come on, Miss.
So without that being said, I said, I am a person in my community. I had to go and do the studies on these things and get multiple different opinions from multiple different doctors, because that's one of the problems that we have. Every time we go to the doctor, they are using a European standard in order to diagnose us. Typically, most Black people are larger in size than a YT person or other ethnicity. So when they're going by like our BMIs and they're saying that we're like obese and overweight, and then you look at some of these women and they're not big at all.
Right.
So you wonder, how do you fit into that demographic when we're built differently? I don't think that, honestly, I feel like it should be a completely different field for BLK people in the medical world. I'm sorry, my daughter is sick. In the medical world. That's why I feel as though that we need to get out there. We need to make sure that we are pushing our youth into going into these fields, because this is the things that we need. It's no reason why I just found out. Well, not that I just found out. I knew it was something wrong with my 5-year-old when she was 3 and she still wasn't talking. And I kept telling the doctor, and the doctor kept telling me that she was going to grow out of it. It took for me to get to BLK doctor for them to say, okay, you know what? We're going to have her evaluated and tested. Something else may be going on. So we went further into it, got the IEP. She got diagnosed with autism. Very high on the spectrum, partial nonverbal. But I knew it was something wrong. When she goes to the bathroom, she covers her ears. When she vacuums, she covers her ears. A lot of people are walking around undiagnosed because they don't know how to diagnose us. You know, and a lot of times, and I get on my doctor's nerves, and I tell everybody, you're your best advocate when you're at the doctor. I don't care if it gets on their nerves. Ask questions. Look at your test results. I don't care if they say don't Google it because it's going to scare you. No, Google it. Find out what those things mean. Because a lot of times they'll see a problem that's beginning to start, and they won't do anything about it until the problem is there. So if you advocating for yourself and you're making them take the right test, no, oh, I'm gonna do a blood panel. No, I don't want just a blood panel. I want you to run a panel on my hormones. I want you to do this. I want you to do that, and everything. I want a panel run on everything. I want you to run tests on everything. I want you to leave nothing untouched. I want to make sure I'm completely healthy, and when I'm not healthy in, I need to be able to fix it.
And that's how I am. I'd rather know than not to know. I'd rather know. So when it comes down to the testing, like you said, run them. You know, Mr. Truth, have you got a colonoscopy yet?
Yeah, I just had it done. They came at me. My doctor comes at me and goes, "Well, you're 44," and he goes, and now I'm not 44. I'm just going back. So he told me, he's like, "Well, now you're 44. I think you might need to get it done, but then again, I don't think you should have it until you're at least 45."
Yeah, because I think it's like 50. But come on.
And I said, "Well, I guess we could do that. 45."
And let me ask the lady something. Do y'all know that men go through something like menopause too?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I went through.
Men actually go through it before women. That's something that I had found out, and it also it affects your sex life as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Look, Missy, when between 48 and 52, I was like, what's going on? I was saying, look, I was taking everything. Cialis, blue pills, green pills, that pill, alligators, whatever, right? I would not release. I would go and go and go. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
The older you get, the less your body is producing particular hormones.
So I told him, I was like, yeah, let's do it. I turned 45. Let's do one. So I turned 45, and I did one, right, Steve?
Yeah.
And he didn't bother to call me, give me the result. Hold on. Now let me get to the good part. So I already had access. I already knew what the results were. I already had access to my medical record, right? I go on there. I looked at it. Oh, it come out fine. Whatever, right? And then so I waited and I was like, man, when's this doc gonna call me? When's he gonna call me? Steve, he ain't called me until I was almost 46.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he said, man, I'm so sorry I didn't call you sooner, but I hope that you found out your results. And I said, yeah, I'm 46 now, so what took you so long?
Wait a minute, let me ask you this. Did they put you to sleep?
No.
They didn't put you to sleep.
Nope.
They didn't, They, look, well, both times I had them done, they put me to sleep. So look, and they put that, so, wait a minute, Mr. Truth.
It might be Florida though,
But hold up, Mr. Truth. So I'm out. Once they did it, that is done. So I was like, do you still love me? He went in my woo. My woo.
Yeah.
I don't be wanting to tell. I be playing with our guys because I be like, hey, you had it done yet? Cause look, I thought they was gonna keep me woke too, but they knocked me out. And then look,
they gave me some, so I wouldn't feel it, but I didn't.
Right.
I didn't get knocked out.
My thing is knock me out. I want to know you going up there, and then look afterwards, right? Because I make a joke of everything, right? And afterwards, I was like, "Do you still love me? Cause you rained it on me."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it wasn't pleasant.
Right. I be scaring our guys. I love messing with them, family. I'll be like, all right, I know at a certain age you're supposed to get it done. I believe around 50, and then every 10 years. So I got mine done before I was 52, right? I mean, before I turned 50. So I was in my 40s as well. But something that happened to me where some blood was coming out, so I had to get it checked, right? And not on the Smex thing. It was just something inside or whatever, just to make sure it wasn't nothing, there. So that was before I turned 50. And then afterwards, I ended up getting it done again. So say like right now, if I go on my medical thing and it tells me it's time for it again, I'll go. I'll go. Any like what Missy said with the blood tests and stuff, and I'm saying this with our brothers, the I'd rather know what's going on with me than not to know. So that way you can do what you can to try to prevent certain things from really getting out of hand. So with me, I have no problem. I have no problem going to the doctors, getting things checked out, because I'd rather know than not to know. And I know for a fact too, Mr. Truth. Look, when I say I'm grateful, huh?
My doctor told me every 2 years he wants it checked. I said
It might have been for him, but I was told like our age. You still a little bit younger, but I was told it starts about 50, huh?
I'm about to be 47.
Right. I know, but I know, but now that's why I asked, have you had it done yet? Right?
Yeah. I just had it done recently.
Yeah. And anything like with the the testicles or stuff like that, I want to make sure everything is straight, because as a man, you should make sure you straight, and whatever issues you have. And because I'm finding out too, right, from doing research, basically, a lot of older men, they still strong and moving forward, but you have a lot of young men too that have issues with well, I'm getting ready to say ET, but you know what I mean.
Hey, the ET movie's on your brain.
Erectile. But look, because I mean, when you talk with, I'm gonna say our men and young men too, you find out that early off, some of them are having issues. That's why a lot of corner stores and filling stations are starting to sell those packages now. Because those are mainly for the ones that's trying to use something to keep their stamina up. So when you talk with young men, they'll tell you why they buy such and such and such, right? And some of them is because too, they can't, either they get it, but it won't last long. So what I suggest to them, you got to start counting. When you in it, if you just in it, next thing you know, you real excited, you're going to move fast and you're going to explode. So you have to start counting if you're the type of person that comes like that real quick. So that's when I talk with our men and we talk about serious stuff, these are things that we talk about as well, family, where a lot of men, might feel uncomfortable, but you have to talk with a man, mainly when you talk with an older man, right? Who've been through certain things in life, can help you understand what's the best route to take when it comes to stuff. Like with me, I'm learning too, because I have to drink a lot of water, right? But I was told, I was listening to this Chinese man, and he was talking about not drinking a lot of cold water and then not drinking it fast, because you have to give it time to kind of like break down into your blood system. I was like, wow. So you learn little by little what to do, even with the water, how much to drink, because I got a big container right here. I got a big container. The goal is to drink like one of these a day, right? But what I was told, sometimes you can't drink it as fast. Don't drink it real fast, but sip on it throughout the day. make sure it's warm because you want it to actually get into your bloodstream. I was like, wow. You know, certain things you won't know. Like my son plays soccer. So he drunk a lot of Gatorade and stuff, right? But he found out Gatorade wasn't really as healthy for him as he thought. So now he don't drink Gatorade like he used to. But he still plays soccer, you know. But the Gatorade, they tell you it's good for you, but for him, he learned it wasn't as good as you know.
Yeah, it got a lot of dyes and sugars in it.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna tell you, Justin, I'm glad you said that. Because when I started getting dizzy, like trying to walk around, something said go get a Gatorade to put that back in my system. What is it? The iron?
Electrolytes.
Yeah, the electrolytes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, what's better for you is either one of those like emergencies or you can even do salt water, but it has to be like Himalayan salt or what's that other salt called? I forgot. That or Pedialyte.
Right.
Pedialyte is the best, they said, because if you're dehydrated, Pedialyte, one sip of Pedialyte will make you come back too.
Right. And see what y'all saying, just my like I take 10 milligrams of lisinopril. And when I was in the hospital or over the prison, they added more to it because my blood pressure ran high. It runs high anyway. But I rather for it to be there than to fall, because when it falls, I'm falling out. And I was telling the doctor that because he had to adjust my medication. Matter of fact, he added on to it, which actually caused it to drop a lot faster. So anyway, I was reading up on it, just what you said, because nobody told me what to do once my pressure would drop. So I happened to look it up, and it told me just take some salt. Like the little light trick stuff you was talking about, because basically I was staying away from a lot of the seasoning stuff, right? To stop it from going, you know, to keep my pressure level right. And I was moving away from it so much where it actually told me, in a sense, the salt that I supposed to avoid is the same salt basically that I supposed to use to help it come back up to normal. So now I just went on and started putting a little bit more seasoning in my stuff or adding a little salt so that I can at least keep balance, right? And now I went and got me a because I had one before I came here to this house, but I had one for the arm, but I got one now for the wrist. But when it came the other day, it didn't have no batteries, so I got to get me some batteries for it because I just want to keep it balanced. But all this stuff, be honest with y'all, I'm looking for somebody to work with me to help me come off of the pills that I'm taking. You know, I didn't got away from vitamins and all of that, which I need to actually start doing a lot of that again.
I'll help you.
Now I don't trust you.
What?
Yeah, I don't trust you.
What?
I don't trust you.
Okay, fine.
Nope. You be having me going around hurting, and I might need some Oxycontin.
Trust him. What he say? I just walked away for a second. What you trying to do?
No. I'm picking. T. I'm picking with Justice. Just. I'm picking with Mr. Truth because Mr. Truth is over there all broken up, right? And he got Oxycontin. He said, I'm not taking it because if Jesus Christ can go through what he went through, I ain't taking it. I'm like, I admire Truth.
I don't take no medication.
He don't. I admire him.
Yeah.
And he is.
I can show you. Listen, I can right now. I can turn on my camera. I can go in there and show you everything that's in the cabinet right now, and everything that's in the cabinet, I have not touched. It just sits there.
Oh yeah, I have like acetaminophen and like Tylenol and ibuprofen and stuff like that, but I don't use it. I do not use it.
I'll take my my Tylenols.
Same thing with like this. My doctor always tells me, well, you need to get the flu shot. Yeah, you can take that flu shot.
And that voice too.
Yeah, I said you can take that flu shot and shove that.
Get a little flu shot. Get a little bit.
Yeah.
I admire my twin right there. Because I told him, look, when I had my feet operated on in August, and I looked down, and I seen my 3 toes was still there, because I thought they was going to amputate, you know the rest. And I seen my 3 toes around, still there. I was like, thank you, God. but look, after that, I was hurting. I wanted that daggone pill. He ain't taking them, and he got them. And I know he going through stuff, but I admire how he uses his brain to, I'm going to say the maneuver, right? But I admire that, but I'm like, woo, and I know from his, well, he had something going on with him from a younger age, but because of the car accident, it started kicking everything up. And he already know what it is, but
I'll tell you. So Jess, what I used to do when I was younger, I used to jump and dive off of waterfall cliffs all over the United States and everything. I used to jump.
You did this for fun?
Yes, I did. Yes, I dove 300-400 foot in the air off of cliffs and things.
Bless your heart.
And so one day, the last day I ever did it, and I'll never do it again because the last day that I did it, it was the scariest part. I jumped off of a waterfall that was a little over 400 foot in the air. And the waterfall came off of this big mountain, I want to say mountain, and it shot off into the huge lake of Kentucky. And so my family, my kids, or not my kids, but my brother, my cousins, we all went out and we decided to jump off this thing. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching everybody. I go to the edge, I look over, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do this.
So y'all all collectively said, yeah, this is a good idea.
Yeah. So I jumped off, and when I did, I dove wrong. And because when I hit the water, you know what a contusion is?
Yes.
Okay. When I dove wrong, I hit the water and I landed wrong in the dive, and it bent my spine up like a pretzel almost. So I lost all feeling in my body and everything. My brother jumped off. He ended up saving me because I was going under. He pulled me to the shore. And when he pulled me to the shore, I laid there. I said, brother, just let me lay here. Don't call an ambulance. Don't call nothing. Let me lay here and see what happened. I waited for about, I don't know, maybe 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes went by. All of a sudden, I got my feelings started coming back in my body. And then my brother grabbed my hand. He lifted me up. I ended up walking away. I never, not one time, went to the doctor to get checked out, because I thought everything would be fine. So, because I was walking and everything, I was still able to have my motor skills, all that stuff. So I didn't do anything about it. I let it be. And I said, well, I'm never doing that again. So I stopped. I've never done it ever again. And this was about when I was 16, 17 years old. And so, now mind you, I didn't know this until just recently. All the years I've ever had an MRI on my spine, my back, my legs, and everything, they've never, not one time, ever told me anything until recently. So my car accident aggravated the incident from whenever when I was younger, right? So my accident, I had my daughter in the back seat. She's 7 years old. She was we was all in seatbelts. She's 7. She was in the back seat. My 17-year-old daughter was up front in the passenger seat. I live in Florida, and I was coming home from taking them to the hospital. I took them to the hospital because they were sick. So I was coming home, and the sky fell out of the sky. So, and what I mean by that is like, you ever been driving, and then all of a sudden the rain just comes down, and it's like somebody just dropped millions of gallons of water on top of your car?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was driving on the expressway and something like that happened to me.
So now, mind you, this is during high traffic. This is the 4 o'clock traffic during when everybody's getting off work. And the traffic backs up really bad. You can sit in this, when it backs up, you can sit in this traffic for over 3.5 hours before you can even get to go anywhere. That's how bad it is. So, yeah, I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious.
I know. I know.
I saw that face. And so anyway, this is all military base all around us and everything, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm coming home, and I come off over top of the overpass. It's a bridge over top of the road underneath, the highway underneath, right? And it's like a shortcut to where we can bypass instead of going to a red light, we can bypass. So they did that, so that way they thought that it would cut down on traffic, but it doesn't. So we come over the overpass. As soon as I come over the overpass, I'm coming off that bridge and trying to get merged into my lane. The rain falls out of the sky like something fierce. And we're all doing the speed limit. The speed limit's 65. We all do 70, right? Because we're allowed 5 miles over. They don't really do anything with 5 miles over. So we're doing 70. And when the sky fell, my back tires hit this water puddle on the interstate. And when it did, it spun me out. My daughter grabbed my arm and said, Dad, losing control. And I said, oh my God, I'm losing control. So I lost all control. My back of my Cadillac smacks into a Silverado pickup truck. And at the same time, I knew that the accident was going to be way worse if I didn't do what I was going to do next. So on the other side of me, where the grass is and stuff, and there's a cliff on the other side of me, I knew that if I wouldn't have took my tires to the right at the time that I did, I knew that the accident would have been at least a 30-car pileup, and probably people would have lost their life. So I took my tires, turned them to the right. It shot me off of the interstate. Off the highest point where the military is digging out. They're trying to dig it out, right? The military is. I went off the highest point and went over a cliff, about 100-foot drop, straight down. And I landed at the bottom of it. When we landed at the bottom of it, there was a ravine with a bunch of water in it. And something stopped my car from going into the water. I can't explain it, but every time I talk about it, it brings tears to my eyes. So, and this is what's really going to make me cry, because I've already told Stephen about it. The military showed up and said, and they hollered at me down at the car and said, they was like, we couldn't even find you. I'm so glad that you got out of the car when you did, because if you wouldn't have, we would have never found you. So I got out of the car and I stood up and I held my hands up, and that's what they said. They saw my hand. They saw my hand and waving, waving for help is what did it. And so So they ended up getting us out, right? And the military looked at me and said, "How did you keep the car from not flipping when you went down the cliff?" You know what I told them? And this is exactly coming out of my mouth. I said, "Sir," I said, "the only explanation was is God put his hand on my car." And when he did, he said, "You wasn't going to flip today, and you was not going to lose your life today." And then that's when I made sure my children was okay, because even though that they was in seatbelts and my airbags didn't deploy, and I don't even know why my airbags didn't deploy, but they didn't. I took my whole body in my arms, even though I had a seatbelt on. I grabbed my daughter and pushed her back to the seat with all my 4/4 of my arm, and my other arm went across the way of my daughter's chest. And I made sure everybody was going to be okay. And then so after the incident, they said, "Are you guys wanting to go to the ambulance?" And I said, yeah, I need to go and I need to get seen. And I want my kids to get seen. Well, here's where it gets messed up. Do you know, I didn't tell you about this, Stephen, but do you know that they didn't check my 2 kids at the hospital?
They didn't check what?
They didn't check anything to see if anything was wrong with my kids at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They never did. They only checked me. They checked me. And they freed me. They said, you know what they told me? They said, "If you want your daughters checked out, you're going to have to bring them back to get them checked out." And I said, "You know what? I'll just call the doctor whenever I check out and see if I'm okay or not." So the hospital ends up releasing me and said that I'm going to have to get a hold of, a spine specialist. And I said, "Okay." So I got a hold of a spine specialist. I called an attorney first. I called the attorney first. And I said, "I need to see if there's anything that can be done, towards the hospital for not checking out my children to make sure that they was okay." And so the lawyer took it, and then all of a sudden they had to drop it because they said that apparently, even though that they can't blame God, because the rain, because they can't do that. They said it was my fault. So they blamed it on me. Because you can't blame rain, you know what I mean? So.
But yeah, they could have been natural causes.
Yeah, well, they did do that. They did do that. But they said they had to give me a ticket. Did you know they gave me a ticket?
No.
Yeah, they gave me a ticket. Because they said that I hit the guy in the truck. I sideswiped the truck. Even though that the state of Florida is a no-fault zone, we have no fault here, right? But because I struck him in the back, my car struck him, I'm reliable for it.
Did he didn't try to go after you, did he?
No, he didn't go after me. He told me, "Dude, I was just worried for your life." And he goes, "I'm not even worried about my truck, but you got full coverage insurance, and they're going to pay for everything." So I was like, "Cool, thanks." Because I keep full coverage, you know what I mean? Especially on my Cadillac. My Cadillac was my baby, but like my children. So anyway, make it short real quick. I go see the spine specialist. They do an MRI. The MRI comes back and shows that my spine and my neck is worse than my spine. But what they found is they said that the incident was over 20 years ago, originally. So if you go back, I'm 46 now. You go back to 20 years or a little over, it would put me around about the time that the incident happened when I dove. So, I figured, well, that's the reason why. And then they told me, the doctor told me, my orthopedic doctor, because I hired one of the NFL orthopedics doctors. They do the NFL down here. So I hired one of them, and because I wanted the best of the best. And so they redid an MRI. And when they did redo the MRI, Stevens, they found out that they asked me a bunch of questions when I went in. Before they even told me the results, they said, "Do you lose feeling in your hands a lot?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, do you lose your memory sometimes?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, this is the reason why, and there's the results. And if you don't get it taken care of, you could go paralyzed for the rest of your life." But she told me the risk of doing this, and now that's what I'm faced with. Because that's why I don't want to do the surgery right now until after my birthday, at least. Because I told her, I said, "Listen, if we're going to do surgery, we're not going to do it until after January." And she said, "Well, just so you know, you're taking a risk by taking your time."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, listen, I'm going to tell you like I told the doctors over the years. Only God can take me.
That's right.
Only God can take me. And He has the power to correct everything that you just told me."
That is a powerful testimony. That is something. You know, God really was in this.
And before I left her office, she said, out of her mouth, she looked at me, she said, "Keep the faith that you have." I come home, I told my wife about it, and she was like, "Oh my God, you got to be kidding me." So this is the reason why you've been having the episodes that you've been having. Stephen, for the last year and a half, I would get out of the shower and I would fall flat on my face because I felt like I was dying inside, or unalive inside. I've almost had my kids to call me an ambulance because the hospital told me that it was vertigo, but come to find out it wasn't. It wasn't vertigo. It was what's happening to me in my spine and my back of my neck. I have, ranging from the top of my neck all the way to the bottom of my spine, I have bulging disc in the spine putting pressure on all of my nerves and stuff in the spine. And it's pushing pressure. And it's pressing and pressing and pressing. And she said, "Well, you know, we can hook you up and we can give you all this medicine." They give me medicine. They give me all kinds of stuff, you know. And I looked at her and I told her, I said, "Ma'am," I said, "listen, evidently you don't know me. You don't know me." I said, "Because even the hospital knows me." I said, "They know that I do not take pain medicine. I don't take it at all. You can prescribe it all you want, and I'll go pick it up. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to take it." So I go pick it up, and I put it right here in the cabinet, and it sits there. Now, if I'm dying, or my bad, sorry, unaliving. If I feel like I'm unaliving, and I have no choice, then I guess I will. But the way I believe and the way I understand it is, and Copeland, you know, this is the way I do. And I promise this with all my heart and soul. And God knows I'm not lying about this. I tell people that if Jesus Christ could get whipped and he could be hung on that cross and have spikes in his hand and put thorns in him and then spear it into his chest, if he can have all that and he can still go through all that, then I can go through the pain just as well as he did. And that's the way I believe. And I don't touch pain medicine. I don't touch it.
And I commend that.
And I don't even take an ibuprofen. You know what I do when I used to have caffeine headaches? Real bad. You know a caffeine headache is massive. Mm-hmm. And they hurt.
Oh yeah.
They hurt so bad. Especially a migraine, right? Mm-hmm. I used to just lay in bed and I would deal with it. Yeah, and now I don't have headaches no more.
You know what helps with that? And this is natural and it's magnesium.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. But I don't even do that. I just let it take its course. And eventually it'll stop. And it does. It stops. And that's what I did. I allow it to stop. I quit smoking cigarettes. Tobacco. I don't know if you mentioned that on here. I don't know, but
I think you said the S word.
Oh, okay. Well, I quit that 16 years ago. And how I did that is I went out on Christmas. I looked up to the sky and I said, God, listen. I said, only you and only you yourself can help me get away from this. Because if I don't, I feel myself unalive. I feel my body. I was smoking 2 cartons in less than a week. Yeah. I was so bad. I was, man, I'm telling you, it was so bad that the doctor looked at me and he said, because he did check, he said, man, they're so black that they're like coal. Mm. He said, you look like you're about 80, 90 years old. Inside. You know what I mean? And I said, you know what? I said, you think I could change anything if I quit? He said, if you would do it now, he said, if you do it now, you might be able to recorrect it. And I said, well, okay, fine then. Let's find out. So I went home, and on Christmas night, I went outside and I looked up to the sky and I said, God, you're the only one that's going to help me. There's nobody else going to help me. I need you now. And at the same time I was doing this coping, I was smoking. I was saying this prayer at the same time that I was doing it. And then as I was finished, it was like something told me to flip it. And I did. And I walked back in the house. I looked at my wife. We weren't even married yet. I looked at my girl and I said, hey, because she was doing it. She was doing it. And I looked at my stepdad too, because they was staying with me at the time, because he was doing it. And I said, listen, I said, I want to wake up in tomorrow morning and I want to walk through the house and I want to see that Pat sitting up there on top of that TV. And I want to look at it and I want to say, I don't need you no more. And you ain't going to control me. And that's exactly what I did. I woke up that morning. I walked through the house. I looked at the Pat and I said, you are not going to control me no more. By the power of God, you will not control me anymore. And I never picked them up ever again. Mm. Now, here's the temptation. My wife and my stepdad tempted me. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you doing this? And I didn't realize it until later on They done it to see how strong I was going to be. Right? The day after I quit, the next day, they tested me. They had me to go to the gas station to buy them. You know what? So I went to the gas station. I bought it. I purchased it. I walked back. I said, you know what? I can't believe you guys even had me to do this. But guess what? You still ain't going to be able to. And I looked at the back as I was handing it to him. I said, you still ain't going to control me. So leave me alone. And I said that to the pack, even though it wasn't going to talk back to me or nothing. And I never picked them up. I've been quit for 16 years. So mind you now, over 16 years of not doing it. It might be even longer, actually. I can't remember. But so I went back to the doctor. They done chest X-ray not too long ago because I was sick and everything. And the doctor says, you used to smoke? I was like, yeah. Well, I just want to let you know from previous X-rays that we've looked at until the X-ray now that we look at, your lungs has gotten way better from where they used to be. So, yeah. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life. I've helped a lot of people in my life. And I'm still going to help them.
Yep.
No matter what. And the thing is God gives me this power to be able to do it. He shows me things that other people can't even see. I've seen miracles. I've seen, oh man, I'll give you another example. I was about 14 years old. I should have been decapitated. I was in a car accident. I wasn't driving. I was in the back seat. I was in the back seat with my girlfriend at the time. Her mother was driving, and power steering went out in the car. She had no control. We come around probably a big old turn. You know those big old 60-degree turns, you know? Big old winding turn round, you know? Well, she loses all power steering on that turn. 18-wheelers coming around that turn. An 18-wheeler come around that turn at the same exact time. She actually let go of that steering wheel, Steve, because she couldn't control it. You know, something picked that car up, and we dodged the 18-wheel, and it moved the car and put us inside of somebody's. I don't know what it was, but something grabbed hold of the car and moved it inside somebody else's. The car was planted in somebody's yard, and we landed on all four car tires. I don't know what it was, but the car was flipping. We was in the air, Steven, and the car was flipping in the air. But where we landed was in somebody's yard. And they come running out, asking if we was okay, and we told them. We all walked out of that with no scratches. No scratches at all. I've been in so much, man, that people, I'm serious. If I could go back to it and I had it all on recording, so I can show people the miracles that's happened to me?
I believe you.
It would blow people's minds just to be able to see it.
I was in a car accident similar to that. Funny thing is, I don't remember it because I was 18 months old. In this car accident, it was 2-3 of my aunts. My grandmother was holding me in the back seat, no car seat. An 18-wheeler hit us. The car flipped around a couple times and it landed on the head. So they had to flip it over and cut us out. The fire department. They said if I had been in a car seat, I would have died. My grandmother went down with me, and nobody had anything going on. No major nothing, no scratches, no nothing. Glass was everywhere. From what they told me, glass was everywhere, parts were everywhere, but none of us was scathed, touched, nothing. Also, when I was 2 years old, it was the day after Halloween, and I was eating some candy. You know, my parents kept the candy and stuff like that. They would let me eat it. And I was around family. I was in the room around my family. I ate a Butterfinger, and somehow it got lodged in my throat. I was gone for 2 minutes. Mom had to do the CPR on me. And I'm just like, wow. My mom didn't tell me that until I got older, like in high school. I didn't know. And the funny thing is, even since like from that age up until high school, I hadn't touched Butterfingers. For some reason, I just stayed away from them.
Yeah.
And then not only that, like this year, I got into 2 car accidents within a week. I was driving down the main street coming from work, and I'm like, someone told me that I knew this. I knew I needed some new brake pads. They weren't all the way, to the bottom, but they were making a little, the first squeaking sound. It was like, okay, it was annoying, but it wasn't like all the way to the ground. And I'm like, okay, I can hold out until, this weekend. It was Thursday. And I'm coming from work, and so tell me, I'm like, you know what? It's going to be a lot of traffic on the expressway. Let me save my own mind and sanity from hearing the squeaks in my brakes on the expressway and just take the streets. Something in the back of my mind told me just take the expressway. I did not. I went the street route. This particular street, it was like a freeway, and I couldn't see up until I got all the way, maybe 1 car away from the light.
Yeah.
This lady made a sharp turn coming this way, and before you know, I saw her, and she couldn't slow down. I couldn't slow down. I just took the car wheel and swerved it. Luckily, there was no cars coming at the time that the way I swerved my car. But I sat in the car for a little bit, and because I was in shock. I was. She hit the back of my tire, my passenger tire, and the driver's side back tire, rear tire. Luckily, there was no huge damage, because I'm like, wow, this the car that I have, I'm not even gonna say the car, but God was a shield, because these cars nowadays, the way that they're made, they crumble up, and they're not as strong.
They're made with more fiberglass than metal and steel.
And I'm like, how did my car just get completely wrecked? Like, the impact was crazy strong. My kid was in the back of the car. Luckily, like, we weren't hurt, but when the police showed up, like, I couldn't move my car. She had to, like, move her car to get out, and I had to manually move mine. And once we got out of the middle of the street, and the thing is, like, the rest of the cars kept on going like nothing happened. And I'm like, how am I supposed to move my car if y'all are still, y'all are moving around us? We're in the middle of the intersection. Hey, so I'm not talking to you. No, I don't care, but I'm not talking to you. Come on, let's go. No. We're not doing that. We're not. No, it doesn't matter. Go sit down. He has this thing where he tries to ear hustle, and I'm trying to get him out of that because he brought up something that I was talking to my sister about from years ago. And he was with my dad at the time, and my dad was alarmed by it because he thought it was present time. Anywho, that's what I was saying. So yeah, we got off the street. The lady, she was Hispanic, and she was young. She was like 22. When I read the report, she was 22, and I'm like, she didn't have any insurance.
That's the worst kind right there.
And she was yelling. She was like, "No, she hit me, and this, that, and the other." And I'm calm because I think I was still in shock. Right, the officer trying to talk to me. Funny thing is, I work in the field with law enforcement, so I'm used to speaking to officers. But this particular time, I don't know. I was uberly calm, and I shouldn't have been. It was a little cold outside. This was back in like April. It was still a little chilly for whatever reason. But she was trying to like get in my face. But the officers that they sent were they seemed like rookies, and it was just a mess. But I was just thinking like, I'm glad that we're open. I wasn't even so much worried about the car itself. I'm just like, it is what it is. I never wanted my son to be in a car accident, you know?
Yeah.
But he was fine. He started crying only because of the fact that he was in a car accident. But the officer talked to him like, "Are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital?" My son doesn't even like going to the hospital. Okay? He will say no, like, without a hesitation. He does not like hospitals at all. He doesn't like taking medicine himself. So yeah, then the second one, it was days later. I was coming out of a McDonald's. I was grabbing a little bite for him, and I had already came from work. And there's this intersection, right? Intersection right here. I'm back here, and I'm already halfway. I'm already halfway out with my car. I'm about to make a left-hand turn to go this way because the way I have to go is that way. So I know that the light is red for straight cars to come, but it's green for cars that's turning around the corner. I look this way, no cars are turning, and then the truck in front of me, he was gonna let me go. He put his hand up, or he bumped his horn. I was like, okay, thank you. So as I was about to proceed, mind you, my car's already out. Before I even took my foot off the gas, this Charger hit me and then ricocheted off my car into the guy with the red car. I just like, I was like, oh my God, this cannot be happening right now. I was on my way to a church event. I was on my way to a church event, and I'm like,
You know that was Satan that did that, right?
absolutely. I'm like, ooh, yeah. I was so close. Yeah.
Yeah. He was trying to get you not to show up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was.
He did not want me in that building. He did not want me in that church building.
No. So he had to make something happen. And that was what happened. Now, I wanted to ask real quick, and I'm sorry if you needed to finish. You need to finish anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Copeland, do you see the picture that I got? Just, do you see the picture I got on there?
Yeah.
Okay. That was my grandmother. My mom's mom, okay? And so that was my memo. And I was her first grandson. So if you know anything about the first grandson, you know the first grandson he was an uno prono, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy that gets everything. So mind you, I was her pride and joy. My mama was like my mom to me. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get to the point. The reason why I put that photo up. Now you remember I told you that a lot of things in my life that I should not be here, but there's a reason why I'm here. There's got to be a reason why I'm still here, right? So real quick, so I don't make it long. When I was 14, 15, 16 years old, also not only jumping off cliffs and things, but as children, we thought it might be cool to, okay, now TikTok, before I start, this is for educational purposes only. Do not do this, anybody. I please, do not ever try to do this. This is against all rules. You should not do this at all. Do not attempt this at home. Friends, we would jump trains that was moving really fast. We would jump them and ride them to different